Hello, everybody. It's Connie. I am doing, or I just finished a Druzy Agate necklace that I wasn't going to share a video on, but it finished out so beautiful. Thought I would just show you what I did, and then I'm going to do a quick pair of earrings to go with it because I just thought it needed it. So anyway, very quickly, I'll show you what I did with this. This is my finished agate necklace. I absolutely love this. When I saw these blue Druzy agate stones, I thought I can't leave those. So I picked up 3 strands of large ones. They're about 10 millimeter, and then I had a strand of the smaller ones. These might be maybe a 6 or 7 millimeter, but anyway, I just saw it in my Spirit Man when I was looking for beads. Anyway, I wanted something elegant but fun, and so I found this strand of Tree of Life symbols, and I'm all about the Tree of Life. So I picked these up because I just thought these were fantastic, and I saw them together in my head, and so I laid it out, and I decided that I was going to make the center point down here the focal point because of the little fun Tree of Life dangles that are on here. And this is kind of it's not a shiny silver, it's kind of a matte silver, so, or antique looking. So I decided to go with a gunmetal bead cap here, and they're very ornate. They kind of look like this when you're not actually looking at them on the necklace. They look like this. They're kind of a flower design. So I put 2 of those in between each one of these larger stones, and I used a black jump ring on these instead of the silver so that you wouldn't see it. I didn't want to see any little slivers of light here. I just didn't want to see light in between there, so I used the black jump ring. I got up here to this section where I'm getting ready to start this other thought, and I used these disc-shaped hematite stone. You know, we talked about the hematite stone the other day, and this is what it looks like on the strand. And I only needed 2, so I just pulled 2 out, flanked it on each side, and then I started my next thought here. And what I did was, to add interest, I alternated the large and the small stones all the way up the necklace to the end. Just alternated them, and then I put little tiny, about a 4 millimeter size bead cap in between, just to give a little tiny sliver of light all the way up. Came up here to the top, and the clasp is also not a ultra shiny silver. It's kind of a matte color to match the bottom. So there you go. There's my finished product. I'm so excited about it. And then when I got to looking at it, I thought, hey, I need a pair of earrings to go with that. So I looked at what I did here, and I decided to do something similar on the earrings. So I've done one here so you can see it, and I'm going to do the other. This is where I'm headed with the earring. I used a large bead, a small bead. I kept 2 of the bead caps, the flower bead caps, one to put on the top of each earring. And I also used some of the little smaller bead caps in between just to give slivers of light. So that's where I'm going with it. Ultra simple. Those of you who've been doing this for ever and a day, this is a piece of cake for you. I know it's a cakewalk, but it's still elegant, beautiful. Not everything has to be difficult. So for the newbies that are watching, I'm going to do one for you real quick. So you will need 2 eye pins. Not eye pins. Eye pins have little hooks on the end, little holes on the end. So you just need a regular pin. You need 2 of them, 2 ear wires of your choice, You need 2 of these little flower bead caps, or whatever bead cap you're using as the larger one. And then you'll need 2 or 3 smaller bead caps. And what I did was I did the different sizes for interest. Let me get them in my hand so you can see. And one's kind of corrugated and one's not. So I did different sizes and shapes for interest. You can do it any way you want to, or not have bead caps at all. All right, and then you need little silver beads for each side. I've got 1 larger one and 2 smaller ones. One smaller one will go on the bottom and the other 2 will go on the top. And again, depending on the size of your stones that you're using will determine what size of bead cap and other accent beads, etc., that you would like to use. And here's my 2 stones, my Druzy Agate stones. All right, so here's where we're going with it. Here's the example. I'm going to take my pen here. I'm going to put one of the little tiny ones on the bottom, and I do that to make it look finished. There's something about just a little sliver of an accent of something always makes it look more finished. Then I'm going to add, oops, I had more than one in there. One of the smaller bead caps next on there. Then I'm going to add my little small Druzy Agate stone, like so. Then I'm adding the big fluted bead cap and I'm turning it where it will hug the larger stone. So it's kind of upside down there. All right. Then there goes my large stone, like so. Then I'm putting on the flower bead cap, the great big one that's going to make the finish off the top. And this bead cap has a lot of little accent holes in it, so make sure you get your cap on there right or it'll be whoppy-jawed. Okay, so there's that. Then, to add another little bit of light, I took another smaller bead cap and stacked it on top of the other bead cap. So I've got the great big bead cap here and an itty-bitty one right there stacked on top of it. Okay. Then I'm adding my larger silver accent bead, the larger one. And then I'm putting another smaller one on top of that. And I do that occasionally so it'll have a more finished look to it. Okay. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is cut off the excess down here on the end where I think it needs to go. And make sure you leave enough when you're doing it to loop, because if you don't, it's going to be a pain in the wazoo for you to make a loop. Okay, on this one, and you probably can't see it very well, and I don't do anything orthodox most of the time, so I apologize to all of you who use specific types of ways of doing things. I just don't do things a lot orthodox. That's not how I was taught. But anyway, you can't see it right now. It's almost rubbed off. But in order for me, it's a little trick I did. And in order for me to make the same loop size on both earrings, which there are tools out there now that you can do that with. When I started, that didn't exist. But now that it does, and it saves you a lot of work and a lot of time, and it's very accurate, so something you might want to consider. For me, this is just my wheelhouse, so this is what I keep doing. But I made little marks. Where's my little doodad? I made some little marks like here, 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 and here, down on both sides of my tool. I pressed it together like this, and then I marked it in certain spots, every so many little tiny, 1/8 of an inch or whatever, down. And that way, when I get ready to do my loops, I'll choose the size of loop that I want, and it'll be the exact same size on both earrings. Just a little, if you don't have that tool, that fancy tool, which is really beautiful if you have one, but if you don't, this is just a little trick that I did, and I think other people probably have done it too, just to help me out. Okay, so anyway, here we go. I'm going to loop it right in here. All right, I'm going to close that loop up just a little bit. Oop, there goes a Druzy bead. All right, closed it up. Now the next thing I'm going to do, and I do this with every pair of earrings that I make. Let me put the ear wire on real quick. Probably should have opened it the other way, but like I said, sometimes you just do things when you're used to doing them. Okay, so what I do with every pair of earrings is I usually take an earring stand once I've done it, and I will hang the earring on the stand. Then I'll back away from it and look at it to see if it needs what I call tweaking. Is everything straight? You don't have beads going left or right, or your hook on the top up here is kind of leaning to one way or the other. It needs to be right in the center. Everything needs to be completely centered. And so when you step back and look at it from a distance, you can see where it needs to be tweaked. And usually it's a very gentle touch. Sometimes you can do it with your hand instead of a tool, just to line everything up where it's really nice and straight. And then hang both of them on the earring stand, and then check to make sure both of them are completely straight. And if they are, then you are ready to go. And I will check this one real quick. All right, that one needs a little bit of a tweak on the top. Just a tiny bit, not a lot. All right. And there she rolls. Okay, so here's my two earrings that go with this beautifully stunning necklace. And it was just a surprise thing today to share with you guys. I'll have the necklace in the shop on Wednesday. My husband and I have decided we need to get consistent on when we're going to put things in the store. So you can go to theartisancompany.com and check out what's there now. And this little guy will be added on Wednesday. So see you guys later. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.